ॐ ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामय सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखात् भाग् भवेत्. We pray for the happiness of one and all. May everyone be peaceful and comfortable at all levels of the personality. May we see that which is auspicious and divine. May there be no suffering anywhere. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Okay. Does anybody have any question? Share the text. Chant verse 27 once. We have covered that. We have covered this verse in our last class. Certain indeed is death for the born, and certain is birth for the death. Therefore, you should not grieve over the inevitable. So, this verse is trying to say that we suffer because of lack of preparation. There are certain things that is part and parcel of life. You can say it is organic or it is natural. Natural meaning, organic meaning that it is bound to happen. It is part and parcel of life. What is life? This is life. What is that? Life means change. Anything which has a beginning will have an end. If there is a birth, there will be a death. And this verse is saying if there is a death, there will be rebirth. So we have done the theory of reincarnation. When the subtle body needs a change, it drops this gross body and it manifests in the next gross body. This is very, very scientific. This is not happening at random. When our prarabdha vasanas get exhausted, that is the time of death. The subtle body moves from this gross body to the next gross body. So when we don't make this preparation, when we don't make this analysis, we start taking things for granted. We have our own mental image or mental pattern that what is life. And when life and our mental pattern doesn't fit, then we suffer. We get into this frequency. Why this happened to me? Why this happened to me? Why is this happening? Whatever is happening that is life. That is part and parcel of life. So he says, don't grieve over that which is inevitable. So we have to carefully step back and understand what is inevitable. All relationships are momentary. Life itself is like a drop of water trembling on a lotus leaf. Any moment it can go back. So, and we are not expecting things to go wrong, but we are prepared that nothing means nothing is permanent. Everything is temporary. By being acutely aware of the temporary nature of things, when it goes, we are able to receive it gracefully. We don't want it to go, but this going and coming is natural. This is where Marcus Aurelius Marcus, so certain indeed is death for the born, certain is birth for the dead. Therefore, you should not grieve over the inevitable. Marcus Aurelius, he was a Roman philosopher. He said, "You would give yourself great relief. You would give yourself great relief if you conduct every act of yours as if it's your last act. I don't know what is going to happen tomorrow. Today, what can I do? If today is the last day of my life, what is that I would like to do? Whatever you can conceive. If you need to forgive someone, forgive today. If you need to say sorry to someone, say today. Whatever your perfect day, make today the best of your life. That is how we should live every day. Today, I should make this the best day of my life, not in terms of something special happening externally, not in terms of a result, but effort oriented. What is that I can do? What is the most important thing I can do? Do it today. If there is a tomorrow, that's a bonus. Then we live our life without regrets. Otherwise, the opposite of that is we take things for granted, we keep on delaying things, we procrastinate. Then, when something goes wrong, suddenly, first of all, we are not prepared to face it. So we kind of collapse emotionally and we regret, I should have done this. I should have done this. I should have done this. Chalk out a plan. What is that I would like to do the best, the most important thing? What are my goals? Plunge into it. You would give yourself great relief if you conduct every act of yours as if it's your bed, as if it's your last act. Possible. If this is the last class, I'll do it to the best of my ability. With this understanding of the fundamental nature of life, the world, how can anyone grieve over the inevitable? What is inevitable? Death for the birth, and that could be any moment. Again, I'm repeating. It's not that we are expecting it, but it is a natural part and parcel of life. So that which is part and parcel of life, if we resist it, there is suffering. Accept it gracefully, however difficult it is. We would not want it to be like that. We would want that everything is remains the same, everything is constant. Relationship should never get broken. People should never die. We may want our fantasy, but that's not going to happen. Life is what it is. If you understand life as it is, there is no suffering. You experience grief not because of external happenings or external factors, but because of the unpreparedness of your mind to face them. So, Bhagavad Gita class is to prepare ourselves that anything is possible any moment. That is life. Have the right expectations. If you have unreasonable expectations, they make life difficult. Swami Ramatita's quotation. All that grumbling tantamounts to, oh, why is the lily not an oak? Lily is a beautiful flower, but it's soft and tender. Oak is a very strong wood. It is not like a lily. We want the lily to be oak, oak to be lily. That's the problem. We want things to be different from what it is. So by understanding people as they are, your wife will be as she is, your husband will be as she is, your children will be as they are, not what we would like them to be. What is our mental pattern? What is the image that we are projecting? Our image may be perfect. It's not about right or wrong. It is about understanding things as they are. Mumbai or any metro city means there'll be traffic, there'll be noise, there'll be pollution. It is absolutely right that all the cities should not be overcrowded, should not be polluted, there should not be traffic noise, traffic. All this is right, but things will be as they are. Understand things, situations, circumstances as they are, people as they are, life as it is, then there'll be no suffering. Oh, why is a lily not an oak? Understand the lily as a lily, oak as an oak. This practical way, there will be no grief. So, grief happens when we have unreasonable expectations. Verse 28. Does anybody have any question? Beings are unmanifest in their origin, manifest in their middle, unmanifest again in their end. O Bharata, what is there to be? What is there to grieve about? Again, he's talking about that which is inevitable. that which is natural, that which is bound to happen. It is inevitable. It is so organically happening. It's naturally happening. What is that? Everything is unmanifest in the beginning. Then there is a manifestation. It remains for a while and then it goes back into a unmanifestation. This is life. This we have to just visualize by um, imagining waves in the ocean. Waves arise from the ocean, they exist in the ocean, finally they go back into the ocean. Waves arise from the ocean, exist in the ocean, they go back into the ocean. Um, Initially, they are unmanifest, then there is a manifestation. There is bound to be a unmanifestation. That is life. We don't know where we are coming from. Unmanifest is something that you cannot contact. What is manifest? Manifest is something that you can perceive with your senses. You can see something. Uh, you can see something. You can see something. You can, if it is manifest, you can hear it. You can smell it. You can taste it. You can touch it. When it's perceivable, it is manifest. If it is something that you cannot see, unmanifest is that which you cannot see, which you cannot smell, which you cannot taste, which you cannot touch. You cannot be perceived. So, uh, in the beginning, beings are not there. Then beings are born, they exist for a while, and then they go back. Swamiji talks about, he used to give us the example of the Western Ghats. In the Western Ghats, any Ghats for that matter, when the monsoon comes, it's full lush green. Then as monsoon goes, winter comes and then summer comes, slowly all the greenery becomes dark brown. All brown it becomes. And then again, when the monsoon comes, again it becomes lush green. Few rains and it becomes lush green. So it is manifest, then slowly it goes into unmanifest, again it's manifest. Matthew Arnold, a great poet, he said, life is an arrow shot from darkness, flutters in light for a while. We are all fluttering now. We don't know where we are coming from. We don't know where we are going. It flutters in light for a while and it goes back to darkness. Life is an arrow shot from darkness, flutters in light, and then goes back into darkness. So everything first, unmanifest, manifest, manifest. If we understand this is inevitable, nobody can stop the manifestation, nobody can stop the unmanifestation. It's a cycle. Day follows night. So this is day, manifestation. And there is a night, unmanifestation. This is happening at the microcosmic level. This will happen at the macrocosmic level. In the 8th chapter, which we are doing, we do it in the Tuesday Gita class. In the 8th chapter, he says, uh, one day of Brahma is creation. One night of Brahma is the dissolution, the unmanifestation. And one day of Brahma is 1,000 Mahayugas. I don't know when we will reach. It will take some time to reach the 8th chapter. 4,32,000 years. 4,32,000 years. This itself is very difficult to comprehend. Is Kali Yuga. We are in Kali Yuga. Kali Yuga is supposed to last 4,32,000 years. Double of 4,32,000 years, some 8,64,000 years, is Taitra Yuga, the previous Yuga. 3 times 4,32,000 years is Dwapara Yuga, the second Yuga. And 4 times 4,32,000 years, it's some 17 lakhs something, some years, is Satya Yuga. Now, Satya Yuga plus Dwapara Yuga plus Treta Yuga plus Kali Yuga is one Mahayuga. It's mind-boggling figure. We are able to conceive 5 years, 10 years, 100 years. 4,32,000 years seems like infinite, right? Now, all that put one Mahayuga is 4.32 billion years. 4.32 billion years equals one Mahayuga. And 100 Mahayugas equals 1 day of Brahma. The day of Brahma is 1,000 Mahayugas. Equal length is 1 night of Brahma. So everything is manifest during the day of Brahma, everything goes unmanifest into the night of Brahma. Equal length. In that, what is our life? When you see this total expanse of time, everything goes into irrelevance. This is detachment. Uh, Detachment in respect to space. Wait, I'll just show you. Say this image. And see this image. There's just an image of the Milky Way. Now, where is Earth? Where is Sun? Sun is a dot. Where is Earth? Earth is a dot. Where is India? India is a dot. Where is Mumbai? Dot. Where are we? Just a dot. In what is happening to me, does it matter to the universe? What is happening to the solar system? Does it matter to the universe? Where are we? So it gives you a perspective. It gives you a detachment. Nothing really matters. Yet, while we do something, we should do it as our life depends on it. We do it in a spirit that everything depends on it, but internally understand we are just a dot in the ocean. We are just a drop in the ocean. So this is with respect to space. With respect to time, Brahmaloka, which is when you do a lot of punya, when you do a lot of good karma, you go to Brahmaloka. 1 day of Brahma is 1,000 Mahayugas. 1,000 Mahayugas, as I said, 4,32,000 years into 4 plus 4,32,000 years into 3 plus 4,32,000 years into 2 plus 4,30,000 years. The best yuga is longest and then it keeps reducing. Satya Yuga is the longest, 4,32,000 years into 4. Then Dwapara Yuga is 4,32 into 2. Then I'm getting tired telling only. Imagine the length of time. Taitra Yuga is 4,32,000 years into 2. Kali Yuga is 4,30,000 years. All this put together is Mahayuga. 1,000 Mahayugas is the time. So beings are manifest, they go into unmanifest, come back into manifest. What is there to grieve about? We got to do what we are supposed to do to the best of our ability. And remember, there is nothing really to grieve about. How will this happen? By preparation. We are right now manifest on our way to unmanifestation. At one point we were unmanifest. Now we are manifest. Ultimately we go back to unmanifest. We are all like waves. We are all like sparks. We come out of fire. We are sparkling for a while. We go back into unmanifest. Everything is coming on that supreme unmanifest. From the manifest to the from the unmanifest to the manifest, back to unmanifest. This phenomena repeats itself endlessly. What is there to grieve about? So the point is, if you understand life as it is, embrace change, expect change. We expect change will not happen. Only changes factor is the self. And self is the abode of Akhandanandam, absolute bliss, unbroken bliss, supreme bliss. Identify with the self and understand things will constantly change. We have to be ready to adapt and adjust. Don't take things for granted. Don't expect things not to change. Life means it is full of surprises. Don't let that surprise you. Okay, any questions?
Sabji,
This is the verse. Yes, yes. The last, yes,
Sabji, now we
yes.
say that Bhagavad Gita is about 5,000 years
Right.
old, correct? So Bhagavad Gita means Mahabharata has happened about 5,000 years back, and
Hmm.
it has happened in Dwapar Yuga. So if you
Right.
correlate with these years, I think it is nowhere these years.
Correct. Correct.
So Dwapar Yuga, as you say, it itself is 8,64,000 years. So if
Right.
you even normally people say about 10 to 12,000 years back. So Ramayana
Right.
happened in I think Treta Yuga. So how can
Right.
it be correlated?
I don't know. Excellent question, Ullas. I don't know. I don't know. But I'll try to find out.
Because in fact, I am trying to think many times because you have discussed this thing many things. I wanted to ask you the question, but let me ask it today. At least you can start thinking and ask somebody, and you may get the answer.
Yeah, yeah, I'll ask my seniors. I'll try to find out. But very interesting. Yes, we say Bhagavad Gita was 5,000 years. I guess that is more believable than to say Bhagavad Gita was written in the Dwapara Yuga, Treta Yuga, which was. I really don't know what the source of these numbers are.
Okay, okay, no problem.
But you know, taking this because of this question, thanks to this question, we can really uh, practice what is real philosophy.
Hmm.
See, suppose I am sleeping and I am so excited to share this knowledge and take classes. I start dreaming that I am taking this class. So in my dream, I'm dreaming, okay? I'm lying in the bed and I start dreaming. In the dream, I log on to my laptop and I send in the dream. I use my dream mobile phone. I go to the dream WhatsApp group and I go to the dream Bhavan's group and my online group and I send the message today 3:15 the class will be there and the class is happening and I'm teaching what I'm teaching. All this is happening in my dream. I'm sleeping, but the whole thing is projected in my dream. And now Ullas is asking this brilliant question. Very nice doubt. I didn't correlate. I've heard Bhagavad Gita was written 5,000 years ago, and the Upanishads date predates that 10,000 years ago probably. But now this thing is saying Kali Yuga is 4,32, so we are somewhere in the middle of Kali Yuga. It'll end in Pralaya, and then uh, Ramayana was in Dwapara Yuga, right? Mahabharata was Treta Yuga, isn't it?
No,
What is the second yuga?
Mahabharata was in Dwapar Yuga. Ramayana was in Treta Yuga.
What is the second Yuga is what Dwapara, right?
Second is Treta. Third is Dwapar.
Oh, okay, okay. I mixed up. Okay, okay. Treta, I thought three. Sorry.
Yeah.
Treta is second. Right. Treta second. So Mahabharata happened in. Mahabharata was
Dwa-
later. Ramayana was before.
yeah.
So in the explanation, I made a mistake with the this thing. One second. So now all this discussion, where is it happening? Even the Bhagavad Gita, where is it happening? Okay, Treta Yuga is the second. Dwapara Yuga is the third one. And Kali Yuga is the fourth one. So 1,000 Mahayogas. A Mahayoga is the combination of all these four. So all these discussion is happening in my dream. The moment my mind projects a dream world, there is a perfect continuity of thousands of years. Mahabharata, Ramayana, the Puranas. Our mind, that's the power of Maya, that's the mystery of wonder. That how the moment the mind comes into an existence, everything is automatically created. Our mind projects the world. When I wake up, how long was the dream? 4 minutes. In that 4 minutes dream, Ullas, all this has been projected. Now, the source of the projection, your own mind. That's the mystery. The mind is such an incredible manifestation of Brahman that moment the mind projects, we project a fantastic world, uh, this pluralistic phenomenon of the world. In that, you're doing your karma and facing karma, all that is happening. But the world is you can say the set is incredibly designed. That's the miracle of Brahman. With this thought, we will study the next verse, which is very, very, I guess this is all divine blessing only, that we are entering the next verse with this thought. You will see why I'm saying this. This is a verse from the Kathopanishad. We'll chant it twice. Once more.
So that's yours. Although, sir, is it me? Because I'm not able to hear.
Oh, okay. You're not able to hear? Nobody's able to hear?
Yes, we can't hear.
Okay. Let me see why it's happening like that. Today, my computer is doing a little funny. I think I didn't share the sound.
आश्चर्यवत् पश्यति कश्चित् आश्चर्यवत्.
Is it audible now?
Partly.
Yes,
Partly. Okay. But it's audible, right? So I'll just try again properly.
आश्चर्यवत् पश्यति कश्चिदेनम् आश्चर्यवद्वदति तथैव चान्यः आश्चर्यवच्चैनमन्यः शृणोति श्रुत्वाप्येनं वेद न चैव कश्चित्.
Was it better?
Yes.
Sorry.
Yes.
Sorry. Okay. Okay.
आश्चर्यवत् पश्यति कश्चिदेनम् आश्चर्यवद्वदति तथैव चान्यः आश्चर्यवच्चैनमन्यः शृणोति श्रुत्वाप्येनं वेद न चैव कश्चित्.
I put it on 16, but sweating.
Yeah. AC is not effective. Restaurant as well. I already put complaint on maintenance. They will come and check, fix it.
One sees this as a wonder, so also another speaks of this as a wonder, another hears of this as a wonder, and though having heard, none knows this at all. Very, 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 very interesting verse. Of course, from the Kathopanishad. Kathopanishad is where Lord Yama is speaking to Nachiketa. Nachiketa was very smart. He went to he thought, if I have to learn Atma Vidya, Brahma Vidya, if halfway through my guru passes away, what will happen? So he straight went to Lord Yama only. That is the conversation. He says, one sees, after explaining what the Brahman could be, what the self could be, what the Atman could be, Lord Yama is telling Nachiketa, and Sri Krishna is repeating here to Arjuna, one sees this as a wonder. So also another speaks of this as a wonder. Seeing, speaking, one hears of this as a wonder. I am speaking of this as a wonder, you are hearing of this as a wonder. Though having heard, none knows this at all. Wonder is something beyond the intellect. With the body we are perceiving, with the mind we feel, with the intellect we comprehend. Wonder is something which is beyond comprehension. The intellect is not reaching it. So no matter how much, again, take the example of the dream and the waking world. In the dream, if at the in the dream, suppose a waker who knows the waking state, and he enters the dream and becomes the dream guru, and he explains to the dreamer what the waking state is, this verse will be applicable. The waking state will be spoken to the dreamer as a wonder. Somebody will be speaking to it, but it will be wonder. Somebody is hearing it, is a wonder. It is just beyond the intellect. We cannot conceive, perceive, feel God, Brahman, the pure consciousness with the body, mind, intellect. God, Brahman is not an object of perception. It is not something that we can see, hear, smell, taste, or touch. It is not an object of our emotions. It is that which makes the mind feel emotions. Emotions can be good, bad, or indifferent. I can feel grateful, I can feel jealous, I can feel love, I can feel anger. The emotions are there, but what is that which makes you feel the emotions? What is that power that makes you conscious of what you see, what you hear, what you smell, what you taste, what you touch? The body, mind, intellect cannot capture it. You cannot perceive, you cannot shake hands with God. You cannot capture your God with your emotions. Neither can you conceive God with your intellect. Atman is that which enlivens the intellect to think. The role of the intellect is to manage the body, mind, and the senses. The role of the intellect to correlate cause and effect. The role of the intellect is to manage the mind. That which makes the intellect to function is Atman, Brahman. But Atman by itself is inconceivable. So it's a wonder. Only a person who has woken up to the fourth state of consciousness, fourth state of pure, unconditioned consciousness, the enlightened people know it. We only talk about it as a wonder. But it is there. What is that which makes our heart beat? What is that which has designed the kidney? What is that which is connecting all the internal organs, the heart to the brain, all the nervous system, all that? How is this all connection happening? How is the baby formed in the mother's womb? There is some divine power splashed everywhere. Recognize that divine power. What it is, it's a wonder. So the knowledge of the scriptures makes us aware of that divine power which we cannot conceive, which we cannot perceive, which we cannot feel. But there is something. That is wonder. One sees this as a wonder. So also another speaks of this as a wonder. Another hears of this as a wonder. Though having heard, none knows this at all. Supreme Self, Atman, is the core of the personality. Beyond the body, beyond the mind, beyond the intellect lies our essential self. We know our body, mind, intellect. We do not know the self. In more technical words, there are Pancha Koshas. There is the food sheet, Annamaya Kosha. There is the vital air sheet, the Pranamaya Kosha. Beyond the vital air sheet is the Manomaya Kosha, the mind sheet. The Pranamaya Kosha is the link. It's the glue which sticks the subtle body to the gross body. So when the breathing stops or when the subtle body moves, breathing stops. The glue goes. The subtle body leaves this gross body and goes to the next body. So Annamaya Kosha, food sheet, made of food, the body. Then there is the Pranamaya Kosha, or breathing. Manomaya Kosha, the mind. Beyond the Manomaya Kosha is intellect, Vijnanamaya Kosha. And all these arises from Anandamaya Kosha. Anandamaya Kosha is vasanas. Bliss sheet. Bliss, not the positive bliss of self-realization. When we go to sleep, we are in a blissful state. All agitations are unmanifest. When we wake up, all the agitations come up. The thoughts and desires come up. So mind is relatively restless. If the mind is very restless, we are stressed out. But thoughts are there under control. You're peaceful, but thoughts are there. When all thoughts go unmanifest, we experience the Annamaya Kosha, vasanas. Beyond all this lies Atman. Atman is the core of the personality, beyond the body, mind, intellect, beyond the gross, subtle, and causal body, beyond the food sheet, vital sheath, mental sheath, intellectual sheath, and bliss sheath. It is omnipotent, omniscient, and omnipresent. It is most powerful. It is the conscious principle, that which makes you conscious. Keep on becoming aware of this. Just keep on becoming aware of. That is the greatest benefit of me teaching this class and you taking this class, learning, attending this class. Become aware of that conscious power that makes you conscious. Become aware of awareness itself. It's not possible. We are always, all our consciousness is of something. All our awareness is of something. If I were to ask you, are you aware? What is your answer? Anybody?
Of what?
Of what? Excellent. Because Ullas has heard this before, that's what he is saying. Suppose I ask you, are you conscious? Many people will say yes. So then I will ask, are you conscious of what is in this room? No, sir. Then again I ask, are you conscious? No, sir. Are you not conscious of me? I am talking to you. Yes, sir. So you cannot answer this question, are you conscious? Are you aware? Without asking, of what, sir? Are you conscious of me sitting here and speaking? Yes, sir. Are you conscious of what's happening in the next room? No, sir. So all our awareness, all our consciousness is conditioned consciousness, conditioned awareness. We are always conditioned of what we see. Our consciousness, our awareness is conditioned by what we are seeing, what we are hearing, what we are smelling, what we are tasting, and what we are touching. If you take away the perceptions, our consciousness is aware of our feelings and thoughts. In deep sleep, we are conscious of nothing, awareness of nothing. There is absence of any experience, but there is the experience of nothingness. Now that mystic the state of enlightenment, it's a mystic state where there is pure, unconditioned consciousness, God consciousness. It is just awareness, objectless awareness. One philosopher described as, what is God? God is objectless awareness. You're just aware. And that awareness means the awareness which is making me move my finger. That awareness which makes me remember what I hear or what I see. That awareness is Satchitananda, Akhandanandam, unbroken bliss. So in every experience, one part of the spiritual training, one part of spiritual practice is become acutely aware with the intellect. The intellect is aware. The intellect is conscious of your experiences. Oh, I'm so disturbed. My mind is disturbed. I'm conscious of it. Oh, I'm so happy. The mind is calm and happy. I'm aware of it. Oh, I'm seeing something dirty. That something makes me conscious of the dirt. Something makes me conscious of the divine. Something makes me conscious of what I hear. So become acutely aware. There is one part of it. The other part of the spiritual practice is where you liquidate your ego. Become more unselfish, become more humble, practice the good qualities. Wicked, tamasic, rajasic person trying to be aware has no meaning because he's so caught up in his thoughts and desires. He's all the time running around. Either he's sleeping or he's running around fulfilling his desires. He has no time for awareness. Become aware, be unselfish, be dynamic, do your duties without any expectations. So, beyond the reach of the human equipments, the human senses cannot perceive the self. Mind cannot feel it. Intellect cannot conceive it. Anything that lies beyond the reach of the body, mind, intellect is a wonder, is a marvel. Anything. So, God is beyond the reach of the body, mind, intellect. The body, mind, intellect cannot reach it. We have to transcend the body, mind, intellect, transcend our thoughts and merge with that pure, unconditioned consciousness. The barrier is the mind. And the mind is made up of thoughts. Human being minus thoughts equals God. Now, today we are conditioned consciousness, removing the conditions. So, therefore, spiritual path is a thought reduction program. If you are extrovertedly chasing the world, thoughts keep increasing. But that Gita will eventually teach us karma, bhakti, jnana, through which thoughts keep reducing. As thoughts keep reducing, you become deconditioned. The mind, which is a pool of thoughts. If you remove all thoughts, you transcend the mind, you transcend the world, you realize God. So we have to just, we only know thoughts. We don't know what is behind the thought, making us conscious of the thought. We know thoughts, but we don't know what makes us conscious of thoughts. So how much ever we try, we are filled with wonderment because God baffles all human perceptions, emotions, and reflections. Even after having heard about God from the experience of the self-realized masters. The self-realized masters are speaking from the depths of the enlightenment. It's like a waker entering the dream world and says, there is nothing here. Wake up, wake up. So they are talking from the depths of the experiences, even having heard about God from the experience of realized masters, or having read about God from authoritative Vedantic text. None knows or experiences God. God remains a great mystery, a marvel and wonder. See, the idea is to humble ourselves. Vidya is always associated with Vinaya. Vinaya means humility, true knowledge. When as a human being with the body, mind, intellect, we cannot know God. The dreamer with the dreamer's body, mind, intellect cannot know the waker, cannot contact the waker, cannot feel the waker, cannot conceive the waker. But he can become the waker. We have to become God. We cannot know God as an objective comprehension. It is a subjective becoming. We are that supreme reality. We are wake up. Now, because of the thoughts, we believe we are this individuality. Take away thoughts, the individuality dissolves. So it should humble us. Becoming humble is liquidating the ego. I am zero. I cannot understand God, but the self in me is divine. I am that self. Negate the body, mind, intellect, assert the self. Don't become egoistic. I know God. No, it's a great mystery. It's a wonder. So it is, you stretch your intellect to the maximum and you leave it. There's how do you shoot the bow and arrow? You pull the bow, you pull the bow, you pull the bow, pull the bow. And then finally you release it. Similarly, we try to understand what is God, and finally you give up. That giving up, first effort and then surrender. It's only in surrender we will realize the self. But the surrender is not without effort. Having tried everything, you've purified you, you've done all the Chitta Shuddhi, you've done all the Karma Yoga, all the Bhakti Yoga, all the Jnana Yoga, and then you understand it is a great mystery. Then you remember this verse. I've studied about God, I've heard about God, I've tried to understand God. Now I know nothing. I really don't know. When that ego gets shaken, then we realize God. None knows God about that because of the limitations of the human equipments. Though unknown, one can tune into the divinity in the world by the feeling of wonder of nature. So we got to slowly train ourselves to see the splash of divinity everywhere. You see the Mount Everest, beautiful snow-capped mountains, or a beautiful waterfall, you feel wow. It immediately reminds you of divinity. If you're a little bit more attuned to the splash of divinity, you see a beautiful sunset or a sunrise. Sunrise in the east coast of India, or a sunset in Mumbai, or sunset in the west coast of India. It's so beautiful, the sun coming out of the sea or setting into the sea. Wow, you're reminded of divinity. If you're more evolved, you can peel a banana and go into a rapture. Meaning, who packaged it? All bananas are similarly packaged, same taste. Who designed the apple? Who designed the watermelon? How is the coconut water so pure? It may be growing in a garbage, but coconut water is pure. We may suspect the mineral water bottle, but we'll never suspect coconut water. So anything which is nature, every leaf so intricately designed. How is every leaf the same color? How the different flowers, how beautifully they unfold. We cannot unfold a flower. It just naturally unfolds. So you see the splash of divinity everywhere. When we are not attuned to the divine everywhere, see, even a human being, how are we walking? How are the fingers moving? How are we seeing? 10,000 million calculations per second just to see. Not philosophy, science. We are hearing. Yeah, sweating. I don't know, the AC, there's no fan here. The AC is not working. Sweating. Um, while I am doing all this, I am focusing on the Bhagavad Gita and teaching. The digestion is going on. The nervous system is functioning. The right side of the brain knows I have to control the left side of the body. The left side of the brain knows I have to control the right side of the body. The blood circulation happening. The 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 50 years, 60 years, 70 years, 80 years, as long as you're alive, the heart is constantly beating, not for a minute. It says, let me take a break. Silently, all the internal organs are functioning. Are you doing anything about it? Is it happening like magic? Magic is God. Magic is the divine. That magic is within, that is making that power which makes your eyes to see is the power that makes the sun to shine. That power which is making the blood course through our veins and arteries, same power is making the rivers to flow, winds to blow. That which makes us breathe in, breathe out. The same power is making the trees take in carbon dioxide and give out oxygen. To be aware of the splash of divinity is being spiritual. It's a wonder. It's a wonder. It says a sunrise or a sunset can inspire him spiritually. Be unselfish, do your duties with dynamism, and become acutely aware of the acutely aware of the splash of divinity. Continuing further on his spiritual path, when he reaches a very high state of self-development, the mere sight of a flower or a fruit can transport him to a spiritual ecstasy. In the final state of spiritual development, all these wondrous experiences culminate in the transcendent knowledge and realization of the self. So you see, it's called Jnana Chakshu. What is Jnana Chakshu? You are able to, the third eye, it's not a fleshy eye. With this eye, we are seeing the world. With the Jnana Chakshu, you x-ray through the body, mind, intellect, you see the self. You see the splash of divinity everywhere. The same person is seeing worldliness everywhere. You are seeing the divinity in and through everything. You are seeing the unity in the diversity. That is sattvic knowledge. You see the expression, you see everything as an expression of the divine. You see your own self reflected in one and all. You don't have to say it out loud. Swami, one second. Anybody has any question? Otherwise, this is a very, very practical message. I hope I can find it easily. Sorry. You can't see it, huh? And share it. There was a lady who wanted to go to Vrindavan. She was old. So she wanted to ask the Swami Ramatirtha, that would he advise her to go to Vrindavan? So the sage replied, see, please. She was carrying her grandson in her hand, Kodi. See, please, mark, please. What is it that looks into your eyes through the eyes of your grandson? What force, what energy, what divinity? I'm giving this story to say how we can make seeing the divinity very, very practical. How can we gain more awareness of the divine in our day-to-day life? This is renunciation. See, the title of the story is The Right Way to Renunciation. What is the right way to give up? Give up your worldliness and become aware of the divine. What force, what energy, what divinity is it that looks at you from the pore of the body of this child? The lady said it must be God. In this dear little baby, the baby is so innocent and pure. In his crying, there is only God. The sage said, if you go to Vrindavan, you will have to worship Krishna, a stone image of Krishna. Is not the body of the child as good an image of the Krishna? Is it that which makes the child see? Isn't that power more divine than just a stone image? The lady was little surprised, like how we should be little surprised. And after thinking and reflecting, came to the conclusion that she might just as well worship Sri Krishna, the Bhagavad, the teacher of the Gita, through the body of this child by regarding this child as an incarnation of Krishna. Can we regard all our irritating family members, the worst of people, as nothing but incarnation of the divine? They are playing a different role. Their script is different, so they are playing a different role. You also play your role, but not with hatred. Deal with them appropriately. Stay away from negative people. If you have to take action, take it, but no hatred. Everybody is a expression of the divine. That is the Jnana Chakshu. For God is that looks through the eyes of the child. God it is that gives the child its power. Every human being, every insect, every living creature, every plant, every stone. God it is that works through the ears of the child. God it is that makes the child's hair grow. God it is that works through every pore of his body. It is divinity. According to the direction of the saint, she must no longer regard the child as a grandson or look upon him as related to her in any way, but must regard him as God and thus break all family ties. This is internal. You're not my husband, you're not my wife, you're not my children, you're not my parents, you're all expressions of God. You don't say it out loud, it's internal. They are all expressions of God. It's an opportunity for me to do my duty, seeing the divinity in them. The only tie should be the tie of godliness or Godhead. This is the way to renunciation. So renunciation doesn't mean walking away from the family. Renunciation means seeing the divinity in your family members. Renunciation does not mean asceticism. Asceticism means you are standing upside down or doing all tapas, living a simple life. That is whatever inspires you, do it. Tapas is required to detach from the body, but you can be everywhere, but the thought of the divine must be there. No negative thought. Renunciation makes everything holy. Renouncing the child does not mean giving up the connection with the child, but thinking the child, the grandson, to be God. Silently. If you take it aloud, you're just boosting the other person's ego. You treat the person as divine. Whatever that needs to be. No hatred, no negative feelings, no anger, no jealousy. It's a practice. It's an awareness and practice. Awareness and practice. Realizing the divinity in each and all. This is renunciation according to Vedanta. Vedanta asks you to give up your wife or husband and other relations. Give up the wife as related to you. Give up the wife as the wife, but realize the true self, the divinity within her. Give up the enemy as the enemy. See only the God in the enemy. Give up the friend as friend, but see the godliness and Godhead in friend. Renounce the selfish personal ties and see godliness in each and all. See divinity in each and all. This is what the Bhagavad Gita enjoys all of us to do. See, it's a wonder. It's a wonder. Become aware of that wonder. Any questions, anyone? Otherwise, we'll end with the prayer. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you.
Hari Om. Thank you, Basantji.
Thank you.
Thank you.